look at the knowledge sources, we have got two major categories. One is Shruti, that which is heard, and we can have, for example, the Vedas. We know the Vedas are Rig, Sama, Yajur, Atharva. Samhitas, mantras, hymns, prayers. Brahmanas, commentaries on hymns and rituals. Aranyakas, rituals, philosophy. And Upanishads, which are philosophy. So these are traditionally what we call the Shruti literature. We also have Smriti, that which is remembered, and this includes the 6 Vedangas, grammar, meter, astronomy, rituals, Itihasas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, text on Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Puranas, historical works, Kavya, poetic works, Bhashyas, Sutras, Shastras of various schools of philosophy, Nibandhas, politics, medicine, culture, arts. So one can see that India is a knowledge-based civilization with enormous categories of knowledge. Not only that, we can divide the Vedic literature into, for example, along the various Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. You have various Samhitas. Samhitas are attached to each of the Vedas, which is the root text. You can also have the Brahmanas, which are interpretive texts attached to each Veda. For example, with Rig Veda, we got the Aitriya and so on. With the Yajur Veda, we have got the Taitriya as well as Shatapatha and so on. Aranyakas are anchor texts, if you will. Upanishads are philosophical texts. So clearly we can categorize the Indian literature along the Vedas to which they are attached, along Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad, and we have a whole lot of them in the Indian context. Moving forward, we can next ask the question, who composed the Rig Vedas, the Vedas itself? Well, the Indian traditional context says these are not by humans. These are revealed to the Rishis and not by humans. And we have, but we can take a look inside the Vedas itself to see evidence of which are the Rishi families that have maintained these various books. And we see, for example, if you take a look at Mandala 3, it's by Vishwamitra and his family. The fourth one is Vamadeva. Fifth one is Rishi Atri. Then we have sixth one, Bharadwaj. Seventh is Vishwamitra. And others are also there like Kanva, Angira, and many other rishis are mentioned who have composed various suktas or mantras and in the various books of the Rig Veda. So we know, yes, there were rishi families that were composing and maintaining these things. We also know from tradition that the Vedas were lost and they were recovered by Vedavyasa. So Vedavyasa recovered the Vedas and he transmitted them to his various disciples. For example, Vyasa, the Rig Veda to Paila, Yajur Veda to Vaisampayana, Sama Veda to Jaimini, and to Atharva Veda to Sumantu. So those were his disciples to whom he entrusted the Vedas, the maintaining of the Vedas going into the future. And the evidence for this comes from, for example, the Srimad Bhagavat Purana that talks about the entrusting of the Vedas to each of these disciples. And one can take a look, for example, the Rig Vedic works itself, Paila, who was maintaining the Rig Veda Samhita, through his various descendants. There's a flow chart over here that you can refer to and see that there are many, many rishis in that particular sampradaya who are tasked with maintaining this Rig Veda. Yajur Veda, from Vaisampayana, it goes Yajnavalkya. Later on to Kanva and others, we have got Taitriya Samhita and other works. Samaveda, Jaimini, through his disciples, Sumantu, Sutwan and others, they maintained the Samavedic verses. Atharva Veda, also through Sumantu and his disciples, they have been maintained by the various families. So clearly, we are seeing that Vedavyasa has set up schools that can take care of the various Vedas so they wouldn't be lost like they were earlier. In India, we also have a notion of error correction in oral works. For example, the Vedas are initially transmitted orally. And people might ask, there might be errors that will creep in if it's done orally, but that is not true in the Indian context. It's not true because there are ways of recitation such that the error can be detected and you can correct for any errors. So these are called the various pathas. For example, a very meticulous system of recitation was evolved in India called Shiksha. And these discipline with checks and balances to ensure the correctness of a text, the correct sequence of the words, purity of the language, exact pronunciation of the words, precise stress on syllables, measured pause between syllables, appropriate tone, accent, modulation, and the pitch of recitation, breathing control, and so on. Shiksha itself is one of the 6 Vedangas that we have that deals with phonetics and the phonology of Sanskrit. It lays down the rules for correct pronunciation of Vedic hymns and mantras. So we have various pathas, for example, the Samhita Patha, the Pada Patha, the Krama Patha, and others. And these are ways of recitation. And in that recitation, we get to understand how to do any error correction. For example, in this work by the Ganapati over here, I'm showing the various padas over here. For example, it might just be, if you break it down to syllables, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first one might be a serial recitation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the Kramapatha, you might alternate the sequences, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6. That's one way of recitation. Or you can have even more complex recitation formulas, like for example the Jata, which is 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 4, and so on. So very complex kind of recitations are involved. So I'm going to play for you a small video clip that illustrates a Ganapati called Suresh, K. Suresh, who illustrates this technique using the Gayatri mantra. He's showing how these recitations can be done.
Tatsaviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo nah prachodayat. This is the sentence. Now the pada. Tat savituhu varenyam bhargaha devasya dhimahi dhiyaha yaha naha prachodayat. This is called pada. Now we have to combine two words. It is called krama. Tat savituhu saviturvarenyam varenyam bhargaha bhargo devasya dhimahi धीमहि ति धीमहि धियो यः यो नः नः प्रचोदयात् प्रचोदयादिति प्रचोदयात्. This is krama. Two words. Next one is jata. 2 words, combination of 6. The same Gayatri mantra. Tat savitus savitus tat tat savituhu saviturvarenyam varenyagum savitus saviturvarenyam varenyam bhargo bhargo varenyam bhargaha bhargo devasya devasya bhargo bhargo devasya dhimahi devasya dhimahi ti dhimahi dhiyo dhiyo yaha yo yo naha naf prachodayat no naf prachodayat prachodayaditi prachodayat. See the jata, you can see 2, whereas there are about 3 pairs. That is why even when you make that pinal in Tamil, so you can see only 2, but there are about 3 things in the back. So we are having 3 kramas, whereas only 2 padas is known. Next one is Ganapata. We have to take 3 padas and combination of 13. Same Gayatri mantra. Tat savitus savitus tat tat saviturvarenyam varenyagum savitus tat tat saviturvarenyam saviturvarenyam varenyagum savitus saviturvarenyam bhargo bhargo varenyagum savitus saviturvarenyam bhargaha varenyam bhargo bhargo varenyam bhargo devasya bhargo varenyam bhargo devasya भर्गो देवस्य देवस्य भर्गो भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धीमहि देवस्य भर्गो भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि देवस्य धीमहि धीमहि देवस्य देवस्य धीमहि 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 धियो यो धियो यो नो यो धियो यो नः यो नो यो नः प्रचोदयात् प्रचोदयान्नो यो नः प्रचोदयात् नः प्रचोदयात् प्रचोदयान्नो नः प्रचोदयात् प्रचोदयादिति प्रचोदयात्. See the small mantra, Gayatri mantra, which is comprising of approximately 10 words. So now we have recited the same mantra in Ghana form. There are a lot of benefits in this kind of Vikati Pada. Assuming Samhita Pada, when you recite, you will get one time benefit. Assume there is a 1 unit benefit. The same mantra recited in Pada, there is a word form, you will get 2 times benefit. If the same mantra recited in what you call Krama form, then you will get 4 times benefit. If it is in Jata form, you will get 1000 times benefit. If it is in Ghana form, you cannot measure, infinite, Anantam. So now the same mantra from Rig and Yajurveda from Sandhya Vandana mantra is going to get recited in Ghana form, both Vedas, same text. Definitely you will be able to appreciate what is the difference between the Rig Veda and the Yajurveda, especially the recitation method, the Sandhi rules, the Vyakarana or the grammar or the different Pratishakya, all those things a common man will be able to know. That is the highlight, that is the purpose of this event.